it look like you're marking the beat, keep it out of the point. In the forte, it's fine. In the piano, your big beat is actually smaller than your little beats. Okay, so I think the issue is more the little beats than it is the big beat. So don't travel quite so far out for beat 2, and then travel just slightly farther up for the last beat. Do it one last time. Yeah. You're still, your beat 2 is too big. Now bigger 3. Keep that beat 2 a little more. Good. Next.
Can I do the same one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the same one.
That's great. Everything is great. At the very beginning, your prep, when you use both hands like that, especially when the left hand is cupped, it looks a little, how should I say it? Like, it's kind of like dainty looking, which is fine. And actually for this, I think it's fine too, but it seems to be a habit for you, and so I'd like you to be able to control it. So can you do it once, take the left hand out entirely, and just do it neutral? Did that prep feel different? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just, being able to do it with or without. Good. Good job. A teacher who said that it's important, at a higher level, it's important for us to realize that any motion we make on the podium will affect our ensemble, right? And so if we can control it, it's technique. And if it's a habit, then it's an idiosyncrasy. And we need to be able to control it, right? And she's a phenomenal conductor, and even said, like, I would stand on my head and conduct with my heels if I thought it meant I could get what I want from the ensemble. That's fine. She wasn't kind of married to this idea of technique, even though her technique was pretty spectacular. But she really was open to this idea of designing gestures that will work in specific contexts, no matter what it does to the technique. So, okay, who's next?
I'll do 10-7.
Yeah, not bad. tracks. You started looking at them, and then arms up, and you immediately look down. if anything, other way around. Okay. And then your 2s are also bigger than your 3s. So you're flip it. Big beats bigger, small beats smaller. Okay. Everybody try this. Everybody stand up. And just get to a place like so you're not going to hit the chair. You're not going to hit the other. Okay. I want you all to imagine that you were in 6/8, right? And I want you to side to side. Imagine you're a big lumbering animal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay. Now, that lumbering animal is an elephant. Okay? An elephant has a trunk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. Now, that elephant has one leg that's shorter than the other. Right? So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. A good friend of mine teaches at UCLA. Travis, if you're watching this right now, a friend of mine teaches at UCLA, and he every year makes his basic conducting class do this, but marching around the room. And then he's a Facebook addict, talking to you, Travis, and he posts it to Facebook every year. So there's this basic conducting class at UCLA, and you see doing like mixed meter elephant marches around the room. And there was one year, this poor girl, he's videoing, and she goes, "I hate you so much now." Anyway, so we actually you want this feeling of like during the bigger beats, there's this feeling of a larger sweep. Okay, that larger sweep will like set the subdivision. It'll move the subdivision. You're still in perfectly clear tempo. That's not the problem, right? The problem is that if you were in a situation where either things got more complicated or you had to worry about other things, or if they were having more tempo problems, I think it could get a little bit 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, just try that from standing. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah. Just like that. Everybody have a seat. I'm gonna get emails about that. Excellent. Much better. Much better. Yep, that's quite a bit. Now you have the same habit I do. Especially if you have to read the score, you tend to like kind of lean into it. Stay up. If you have to look at the score and you have to bend over to read it, make it stand higher. Okay. Stay up. Keep moving. Yeah, that's a lot better. That just it keeps it actually by you moving a little more in the bigger beats, you get out of their way more. They don't have to worry so much about the clicks. They can just focus on just the D, the D, the D. Good. Who's next? Elena.
I'll do the same one, Chris.
So and I can even see your left hand when you're conducting. A little bit of that.
Okay.
Keep that out of the drop. Keep the shoulders down, as if you're playing clarinet. Drop your shoulders, and your wrist is a little bit locked. So just sort of like free up the wrist a little bit. Beat, just beat time without them. Yeah, float your elbow just a little bit so that your hand flattens. There you go. Can we try it again? Yeah, good. Still a little bit in like this. Yeah. Right. Good. And keep your arm where it is, but now put the point of the baton in the middle of your body. There you go. Yeah. Good. Drop your shoulders. Yeah. Good. Now big beat, big, small beat, small. You get the good. From the top. Good. Right when that very first beat, I saw this. Your left arm kind of, it's like a reflex test to the doctor. Yes. Drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Right. How did that feel different? Or did it not feel different?
I definitely felt like I was fighting myself.
Fighting yourself, okay. Well, could you feel where you felt like you were fighting yourself?
In my wrist, trying to make it looser, and then also trying to keep this down.
Okay, try this then. Like step off the podium and back up against the wall. Yeah, put your back all the way against the wall. Right, good. And do you ever conduct like that? Yeah, try conducting. With them? Good, one more time. If you feel that sense of like, it's not lining up and it's not, because the beginning kind of wasn't, you want to feel it more. That tells me you're feeling it in your body. Feel it more out here. Yes. Yeah, good, good. Now get back on the podium and try it off the wall. Yeah. Yeah, that's way cleaner that way. Okay, do you still feel like you're fighting yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Not as much.
Okay, good. What I'm trying to do is actually get tension out of your body. So as you go on and as you practice this, I think what'll probably happen is you'll realize that you're doing it, and then you will like stop doing it, which will mean like you'll freeze something. And I would like you to, instead of thinking of don't move something, think of relaxing something.
Okay.
Okay, because what's happening is that if the shoulders are tense and you move them, then it takes away from the hands. And so instead of not moving the shoulders, think of moving the hands.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Bravo. That was a big difference. Really way cleaner. Next. Sam.
Let's do 10-8-8.
8. a little bit floppy, just a little bit, and I think the reason is, okay, I think it's two things. Come up into your basic position. Good. And scrunch up your shoulders. You scrunch them up and drop. Yeah, right. That's way lower than you started. Okay, one more time. Scrunch them up, scrunch up, and drop. Okay, good. Now, just be, what is it, 3-2? Yeah. Yep. Good. Can you try this once larger? Just conduct as large as you can. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Aha, okay, good. So your twos need to be smaller and faster, right? So, yep. Good, bigger on the feet. Yes. You feel that?
Maybe.
Yeah. What does it feel like?
Feels like I'm still making twos bigger. Maybe I'm screwing up the pattern.
Okay. I think worry less about the pattern and think more about the subdivision, right? So. Okay, do one more time. Okay, with me, and ready, go. 1, 2, 1. Okay, good. Let's do it in 6/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Good. Let's everybody conduct along. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's what I'd like to do. I'd like everyone to count 1 and 4. 1, 4. 1, 4. 1, 4. 1, 4. Now 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4. Good. Now 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1. Good. And yup, up. Good. Now 3 plus 2 and yup. Yes, that. Do that. Sam, that was way different. Way different. Did that feel better?
It felt better.
Yeah. Now, can you articulate then what specifically felt different than the first time?
Well, I felt more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
More confident of the pulse.
Mm-hmm. There's something about mixed meters that, in many contexts, the point is to add tension, right? Like it's supposed to add this kind of rhythmic tension. That's the worst thing for us to internalize in our body, you know. And I'll admit it's something I struggle with. Like when the tension's in the music, you want to put it in your body, right? So that's the first thing. Try to stay relaxed, and then you want to keep a certain sense of freedom. That's what it is. It's freedom in the motion that allows you to show that pulsation. Okay, so keep the movement free. Do it one last time. That's quite a bit better, Sam. Good. Who's next? Oh, let's do Haley and then Dan.
I'm gonna do the same one that's next.
Yeah, what do you want to happen in that last bar?
Well, I want it to be like da da and then be done.
Okay, so just full value as it is? Okay, then design a gesture that would, what is a gesture that you think might communicate that to the group?
Kind of like a,
Yep. And then how do you tell them when to end? Because yup up up is great, but if you don't do something, they'll assume it's fermata. So
cut it off or something.
yeah, yup up up something like that.
Okay.
Try it just on your own. Yeah, it sounds silly. This stuff does need to be practiced for sure. Like in front of a mirror practice this stuff, you know. So I would say in this case, yup up up or yup up up something like that. You could even do like yup up up just another beat. I find a little cutoff to be helpful
Okay.
in those situations. Yeah, now you're overthinking it. Just do a bar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, good. Yeah. Now on 2, ordinarily after 2 we have to rebound, right, to go into the next bar. Since there is no next bar, land on beat 2, yup up up ba, and cut.
Okay.
You know what I think's messing you up? Don't worry about a pattern. It's just 2 beats. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
One more time. Yeah. That's it. Good. Word of advice to all of you, especially if you're going to teach school groups. Endings will drive you nuts. So, like, just spend the time early on to think about how am I going to end this piece? Like, what's really going to happen? Yeah. Okay. Just like with Sam, I want you to think a little bit more about the freedom in your arms. Like, let your arms move to kind of get that subdivision going. Okay. Do it one more time on the top. That's much better. Do it once without them, and just don't worry about pattern. Just beat beats. And down. 1, 2. Yeah. So there's something about your 1, like the first beat that. How should I say it? There's like a stop that I think is adding tension that you don't really need. So that's why I want you to just beat beats. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. Good. And now just angle that first beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Right. Also, folks, again, this is why you need to get out of the habit of upbeats being massive, because in this case, it's exactly the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. If you overdo like the pattern shape, then it's going to look really weird. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then downbeats start to look like upbeats, and nothing works. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Okay. One more time with that. Worry less about pattern and more about subdivision. Bigger beats. Sorry, yeah. Flip it. You're making your little beats the big beats.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, it's better. I want you to try this a few times in front of a mirror, and you'll see what I mean. You're doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and because your tempo is steady, it's not causing a huge problem. But again, if they had any rhythmic problems, it just wouldn't work. Okay, so try to make more of a difference between the big beats and the small beats as you practice. Good. Yeah.
I'm gonna do 10, 10. Actually, I lied, I'm gonna do 10-9.
Good. Why don't you do that again, and everybody play exactly what he shows you. Exactly what he shows. Yeah, how long do you want that last note?
I don't know.
Okay,
I
I
was
can tell. I
improvising.
can tell. So decide, right? Think. So what I was trying to get, and that second time was better, is the first time you showed.
Yeah, I lost track of the subdivision in my head for a second.
Good. Try it without. Do it without them, and just beat this pattern neutrally. Okay, without them. Everybody count out loud. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
That's the best guess. Yeah. Okay. Do that with them playing. Still worried about that cutoff. Do the very last note. Make the cutoff more obvious.
Yeah.
Like, shut them up. Close. One more time. Yeah, that's it. If it's too passive, it will be too passive.
Right.
Stop. And there, you music ed or you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you end up conducting like a musical, the thing you absolutely need to be able to do is stop them. Right. So get really comfortable with, we are stopping now. And I think what you're doing is you are feeling the cutoff as a beat like this, which is fine, but also get used to feeling the cutoff as a beat like this, kind of this direction, as opposed to just off. Because that's what you're doing. You're doing off, which is lovely if you're conducting for a requiem.
Right.
Right? Or actually any choral work really. It's great. Off. But remember they don't necessarily have a score.
Right, yeah.
Nice.
I'm thinking like 2 cantabile.
It's two cantabile, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And the ending of the notes has articulation and style the same way the beginning of the notes does. So if you have ba, that might be out of character. Right? Da dee da dee da 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 da. Cut off in the style that you want. Same with the notes. Okay? Just do that cut off one more time.
Just the cutoff?
Yeah, just cut off. There you go. Much better. Bravo. Ends of notes are music too. Yes, ma'am. 10, 10. How do you want it to end?
Well, I had an extra beat, but it should be I want it to end on that quarter note. Da, 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 da.
Okay, great. So then how can you show da 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 da? Yeah.
I do it.
Sure. Yeah. Try that. Do the last bar.
With everyone? or
Yep.
just-
With everyone. Yeah. Okay. Now, that's a great way to end. You can end it with just showing the last beat and then stopping, but you need to stop, right? So yup up up ba da dum ba, yup up up ba da dum ba. I'll usually add like a little sort of cutoff, yup up up ba da dum ba, right? So 1 2 3 1 2 1, right? It's like I sort of go into the beat with a swoop.
Right.
Yeah. Try it again. Just that last bar. Okay, one more time. Yeah. Okay. So we were taught cutoffs as note, and then it's another preparation to show the cutoff, right? So last note, up and around and off. But a useful gesture is approaching the last note with a cutoff gesture, right? So instead of note off, it's off or note, right? 1 1 2 3 1 2 1. Yup, ba.
Would you move the baton too, or just the...
Yep. No, I moved the baton too. Yep. Yep. Da, da, da. Yes. Yeah. Do that. With them, last bar. Right. Yeah, that's a really handy gesture, and it's I don't know, it's not really taught. It's one of the things you kind of just pick up, but I find it really useful. Okay, now everybody start from the beginning, and again, play exactly what he's showing. Good. Yeah, okay, good. Now, just come up in your ready position, in your basic position. Good. Strength your shoulders. Drop. Okay, good. Can you reach out to them? Good. And come back. Yeah, deep breath in. And out. Good. Just a beat, a neutral beat, whatever. Yeah. Can you raise it just a little bit? Just a little higher. Right there. Yeah. So what you were doing is you were down here, which was actually causing you to reach just a little bit, and that was, to me, it just looked like your center of gravity was a little off, which looks less stable.
Right.
Okay, good. One more time, one time. That's a lot better. Yeah, it looks much more like secure that way. If you don't look like you're gonna topple over. Good, bravo. Okay. Everybody gone? Okay, and Abby. Okay, good. Either one. Whoever wants to go.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll do 10-7, the first one.
following Mark Ann's subdivision stuff that we talked about is like if we're in Marcato on the big beats, where should we start moving down? On what subdivision? So if you're in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but you're showing it Marcato, where should the descent begin? If we're Marcato in a duple, where does the descent begin? One, 2, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. So where would it begin on a triple? See 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That's legato.
Oh.
6. Okay, so for you, actually you need to begin your descent a fraction earlier.
Okay.
It's just a little bit earlier. Okay, this is why I didn't make such a big thing of this, everybody, because if you're one that tends to drag, then what will happen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. I don't want that, right? So okay, yeah, or okay, so as soon as you have, like, you hear that ba down 1. Okay. That's quite a bit smoother, right? Even though it wasn't legato, it's just it moves much easier. Do it one last time to get used to this. Okay, now your duples are getting bigger.
Okay.
Your duples are getting larger, so that's causing like the opposite problem. Right? So keep the duples more contained.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to change the plan for next week.